Hola tribe. So I've been practicing, I say practicing, not as steadily as I'd like yet. I think that's why I'm making the video, putting a fire under my ass. I have been practicing a new yet integrated of ancient mode of healing. I guess is the best way of saying it. So those that know me know that I'm truly a functional therapist and I help people realign their structure. That's a simple way of saying it, is helping with injuries and structural based stuff. However, everything, and forgive me, I have a pain moving through my face that I'm trying to, it's part of the work that I've been doing, that I'm realigning my face and jaw and everything. So I'm gonna make some weird faces, but you'll get used to me. That everything in our physical body has to relate to our psychological and emotional bodies, right? So some people understand that, some people get it on different levels. The level to which I get it is that it's literally, as I'm unlocking my tissue, I can hear and feel and experience storylines and emotions. So sometimes I'm just experiencing an emotion and I have no storyline to attach it to. And other times I'm experiencing an emotion and storylines appear from this lifetime or other appear to be past lifetimes. I don't ever want to use like this egoic, like, hey, I'm attached to some past lifetime and look at me, I have these past lives. I don't give a fuck. So know that from advance. I just want to heal. So if my body is holding an old trauma of a storyline from a past lifetime, which time-space continuum would tell you that it's actually still happening right now because there's no time-space continuum. So if there is a past lifetime, it's actually still being enacted in this moment in time. And so if I'm experiencing it in my physical body, I am capable of sending energy to that time period or that timeline of existence and heal that aspect or fragment of my soul. Don't ask me to repeat that, rewind, because I just speak. So rewind, I have no idea what I just said, other than all timelines are one and you are a musical instrument and I am experiencing all timelines simultaneously. And in order to heal the fragmented pieces, I must experience them. So I have been doing this work, and part of what I've been doing like this year is deportment, right? And so it's a part of like Qigong and ancient medicines. Shaking, pounding, dancing is all ancient medicine. And so I've been doing all this work lately. Well, I've been on a fucking journey, let's go with that. But this last few weeks especially, I have found myself really doing this work. And it was from an experience. I was at a sweat lodge, and in the sweat lodge there was negative vibration that got brought into the sweat lodge, and the water molecules held on to that negative vibration, and in doing so it became part of me. It got into my water molecules. And so I woke up the following day and had like this dense, energetic soot blackness in my being. And I remember having to find me. I felt like my soul was covered underneath this shit. And so I just started shaking and moving and dancing and doing all of these things to realign myself and get it out of me. And realizing that, I was doing breath work and, it's all the stuff that I do, but it's stuff that we don't give ourselves credit for doing. And so I have been doing it more often. I have been inconsistent is the word that I'm looking for. I've had many days within a couple of weeks, months kind of thing of doing it, but I haven't been as steadily as I'd like to be. And so I'm just noticing that. And in doing this video, it's kind of what I've been dancing in, is like, I feel like I'd do more of it if I shared it. Maybe that's my fucking ego. I do more for me when I know that other people benefit from it. So and I'm not as consistent with doing my own healing work if I don't see how it benefits other people. And of course, living in this fucking bullshit matrix that we live in, my ego shows up, and in this I can hear like you know, different people I work for, or like different, you know, I have a few bosses because I have different jobs. I work for myself, but I work for other people too. So I can hear my boss being like, well, you're not doing the work I need you to do right now, right? And so that part of my ego that is like, oh, fuck, I should be trying to make money right now, right? I should be trying to invest in that. And that part of me that goes, fuck them, fuck that. I need to invest in me because long term is me. Not that they're expendable, they're not expendable, but there's other jobs, you know what I mean? And I have to be okay with that. So if that job doesn't serve what my spirit is representing right now, I need to be okay with that. And so I am dancing that dance, and I'm going through I'm fighting this ego fucking death. Let's go with that. Oh, fuck. No wonder I'm doing this fucking video right now. Okay. Okay, don't do that. Just pad. So what I'm doing right now, and first and foremost, you should know I'm not wearing a bra, so I'm not going to scan down and let you see my breast shaking around. You can see my arm jiggle, which, by the way, I didn't have that until a few years ago, so let's just, I know I got to stop complaining about that. But let's accept that there is softness, and softness is healthy and okay. And that it's okay to have softness, and that I don't have to be so hard. However, I can utilize that strength in order to do the healing work, to heal myself. And so what I'm doing right now is, it looks like a duck beak. That's what they call it, and I think it's either Bagua or Qigong. I have had the blessing to study different formats of martial arts, but just a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this, and I integrate them all, and that's how I kind of work. I have to be honest with you, I don't overly focus on one method of healing. I don't allow and give too much power to one method, because you'll lose sight of the truth, in my opinion. You'll lose the opportunity to discover you. You'll lose the opportunity to find and discover the truth of you, but realize that that truth is not everyone else's truth. So just because this works for me doesn't mean it necessarily will work for you, even though I know it would work for the majority. Because bottom line is, this physical tissue is a sound system, right? Every time you take a breath, you're offering a vibration into the ethers. I'm giving medicine out to everyone else through my exhalation as well as my inhalation. Because when I inhale, I'm still making a sound, and that sound could have love or peace or anxiety. Like right now I have anxiety, but I'm also touching all of my organs. I'm using this duck beak right now to, I do depotement on all of my organs, and it's making me feel sick. And moving things out of my body. So why do this? Well, because it's in your body, and the only way to get it out is to get it out, and you have to meet it. The only way to deal with the only way of healing the body is to get out things that no longer serve you, and you have the power to do it at whatever fucking pace you choose to do it at. And I am an asshole, and I want it done now. And so that's why I am having this conversation, because I need to fucking do the work on a daily basis, and I need to start loving myself more. Like, I really need to start loving myself more and showing her that she's worthy of time and attention. And yeah. So I just want to love me more. That's it. The only way to do that is to get all the hatred and angst and pain out of the body. Because all this body does is absorb, right? It's just a big, cellular bank of data and information, and every droplet of water in our body can hold a vibration, which is why when I was in the sweat lodge, that when somebody started calling out things, I just, without judgment, I don't want to go to the judging place, because there's a part of me that wants to be like, I want to be mad at the being that brought the energy in. However, I want to give thanks to that being for having taught me such a beautiful lesson in how lesson as well as a reminder of how energy works, even though they're ignorant enough. That's where my anger comes from, is their level of ignorance to what they did. However, accept the fact that it was God's hand and God wanted me to have the experience regardless of how it was brought about. So their ignorance was a blessing in this, and no judgment to them for having brought a negative vibration into the sweat lodge and letting that in the air molecules. The water molecules that were in the air, So those water molecules held a vibration, and as they held the vibration, we breathed them in, and they attached to your water molecules in your own body. And having done that, left a density, which is happening all the fucking time. So regardless if it's a sweat lodge or not, it's happening all the time, everywhere we go, right? And so we don't pay attention to that, and we just become accustomed to holding on to those things rather than getting rid of them. And so this is a way of getting rid of them. Depotement, drum beats, making sounds of your body. So you're hearing it move through me. I'm having emotional releases. I'm having presence with it. Sometimes it's denser than others. Other times it feels like I'm freeing myself, and it's trying to reach places that are not necessarily easy enough to reach, right? So like, there's all different ways, and you can hear, hopefully you can hear that, because I'm hitting myself good. By the way, I have had a good amount of martial arts training, and I have a really good, strong punch. And I've been doing body work professionally for 20 years, some sort of hands-on therapy for 20 years, so my hands are extremely strong. They're not nearly as like strong as I remember them being, but they're fucking viciously strong. So with that being said, you have the power to choose what level of hitting you want to do. You can do, nice little gentle tap, right? That's not even a gentle tap. Like, I've seen people do their gentle taps and they're like, it's like air, you know what I mean? It's like, it's really gentle. And then you can really hit it. Like, I am hitting myself here and it hurts. There's some pain trapped in there. And guess what? If there's pain in your physical tissue, that means there's not enough blood flow and oxygen to that tissue. And so I'm targeting certain vertebrae right now, clavicle area. That's some gnarly ass motherfucking shit. So, fingertips, and build your strength here. So 2 fingers, 3 fingers, right? Looks like this, like a claw. A bird claw, right? And then now I have really strong fingers, so not everyone's gonna be able to do this, but if you want to, you can do this or this, okay? 3 with the 5. Duck beak, I think this is referred to, and this is, I don't even know, it's another bird thing, but wow. Right now, 3 instead of 5 works for me. That's the tool I'm gonna use. And how do we discover it? You have the experience. What can you handle? Don't judge the experience based off of, one creates more of a scenario than the other. Just, do what feels right. So as I'm releasing here, I can feel my whole neck, connective tissue start to release. And so a couple weeks ago, I had a head contusion, and I hit a metal pole with my skull, cracked down the center. And it was amazing in the fact that, one, it didn't hurt. The experience didn't hurt. I do have a strong skull, but it didn't hurt me, which was lovely. But the pain was felt days later and weeks later. Like, I felt like I got hit with a crowbar in the back of my head, not even the front of my head. So my whole skull shifted, and I've been dealing with this big skull shift. And if you know cranial sacral work, you know that the sutures of the skull can shift and move and realign. And I'm letting it happen, and I'm helping it. So I do cranial sacral work. And so I'm allowing myself and my higher self, my inner knowing, to do the work so that I can realign. So it looked like I broke my nose, like this whole area shifted on me. In fact, I think it actually was beneficial to my body, but it's not done, and it's moving out of my skull. And so I don't necessarily recommend for everyone, because this probably freak people out. It doesn't freak me out at all. And so people get scared when they feel those kinds of sensations going up to their brain and skull, and they're like, oh, their nerves, their arteries. Well, guess what? It's your body. Dance with it, play with it, discover it. You know, the medical profession wants you to be afraid of it. It's a sensation. Feel it. I don't mean to be rude, but the bottom line is it's your body and you're not going to die. It's not that easy to break us. Like, it's really fucking crazy. You're like, oh, I should totally be afraid. Don't be so afraid. Your body is capable of handling so much. So much. And we allow like sickness and poison into our body all the fucking time. And then we become codependent on the medical facilities. What if you just had really weird fucking experiences and dealt with your pain on a daily fucking basis rather than allow yourself to be codependent to a system? So you have the painful experience in present moment, make it feel odd, make it weird, dance the dance, ride the wave of your energy with your breath, do all these fucking things. And then heal yourself. I don't know, it's just a concept. It's a concept, right? So allow yourself to feel what's actually being had in your body rather than allow yourself to be completely disconnected from it and then be subject to having to like, oh, I have to like be codependent on the government and like the medical profession because that's what we do in this fucking fucked up matrix of a goddamn world. So yeah, how about not? All right, so that was my rant. Okay. It's my fucking rant. So I can feel, like right now my fingers are on my vertebra and I can feel, how it's shooting up the skull, it's in the jaw, oh my goodness. And so I'm just dancing with it and I'm allowing myself to, I just had a nice little neck adjustment there. Breathe the lines. So experience the pain and experience the joy from the release. You know, this last week I've been doing a whole lot of downloads and I've been really practicing more of this medicine like on a regular basis in the last couple of weeks. And there's part of me that feels like people need to know this, like what I'm experiencing has come over me, and then I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna think I'm fucking crazy. Well, people already think I'm fucking crazy, so it's fine. I've lost, like, I don't really, what people think of me is none of my business is one of my favorite phrases, like, and I really do my best to work with that. What people think of me is none of my fucking business. What you think of you is important. How you feel about yourself, the thoughts you have about you. And what's interesting is we don't even know the thoughts we have about us until we have experiences like this, right? Because as I'm doing this, so many different conversations come up in my mind, right? Like, so many. If I'm just sitting here by myself doing this, I start laughing and crying and doing things because my body is telling me stories. It's telling me there's a lot of ow, and then that part of me that is like, how can I fucking have this much pain in my body and still exist on a regular basis? How can I be a kind, loving person to people and still have all this anger? Anger and pain. Like, and to think that I know that I feel this way, like, and I know me, you know what I mean? Like, I know how much I love people. To think that I can feel how much anger and like disgust is in my fucking body sometimes. Like, just like I want to run for myself sometimes, you know, just from feeling my own self. If I'm like that, can you imagine how many other people, they don't even know what they're holding on to? They're just fucking, their soul is hovering outside of their body. It's not even inside of their body. And they're just carrying around fucking hatred in their physical tissue on a regular basis. And they don't even know it. And they think they're, like, they could think they're loving beings, right? Because they're thinking their way through this fucking matrix, right? But they don't realize that their physical body is emanating something completely different than that. That's it. Think about it, right? So if it's like a music, right? It's like how I got to think of the right thing. But so if I have an instrument and the instrument is dirty and gross and has like all this dense negative talk going on inside of it, and I just send energy waves in through it, right? So it's, I guess, like a TV, right? Like you get like, yes, it's all already created, you know what I mean? Like those are already videotaped and filmed and all that kind of shit. So, but you're absorbing the energy coming out of it. Whatever conversation is coming out of that TV matrix, you are, you know, absorbing it, downloading it, breathing it in. You're allowing that to be the medicine of the moment. And it could be a scary movie, it could be a funny movie, it could be all of these things. You're allowing that vibration to feed and nourish your soul, your spirit, your body. And that's a huge energy source coming in, right? So what if, and this is what's happening, is that people's souls are talking through these filtration systems filled with fucking poison, and that's what they're putting out into the world. So they think they're a loving being and they're doing good within their communities and all this kind of stuff, but their vibration moving through their physical tissue is one of density and harm or hatred or something like that. But even if it's their own self-hatred, it doesn't matter. It's still a vibration of hatred, right? So if it's a level of self-hatred and it's still coming through onto others, I mean, we're dealing with this all fucking day with people. All day, and people don't know it. They just don't know that they're walking around and doing this. And so what I'm discovering, and I mean, I've known this for years, is you've got to get it out of the tissue. And so I do certain methods of functional therapy, breath work, that get it out of people's tissue. And not only does it get it out of their tissue, it literally gets the pain out of the tissue, the cellular memory. They live freer lives. They feel better in their physical bodies. And now I'm discovering another way of doing it, like for myself, that I don't need an outside person, which I love having outside assistance and help. I love hands-on therapy. It's some of my favorite, and it's a blessing to have it. However, you can't always do it. You can't always rely upon it. You can't always afford it. You can't always, you know what I mean? Like, people can't afford me. But I love when I can help people afford me. You know what I mean? Like, just saying. There's nothing greater than being able to watch somebody make a transformation who was willing to say to me, like, hey, guess what? I really can't afford your prices. Can you work with me anyway? I need the work. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So, because they do the work. You know what I mean? They're some of my favorite when they because they show up and do the fucking work, because they know that my time is worth it, and they know that they're getting me on a deal. And that's like the highest dance compliment you can have with people. It really is. And then you also have the other people that are like unwavering and like don't even give me a cent of a discount with you. They're like, every minute with you counts, and they pay me every fucking penny and then some. Wow. Like, they make up for it on the other end, right? Like, I'm like so fucking blessed, because these people literally are like, they're like, oh my God, I canceled on you 2 days before the appointment, okay? 2 fucking days before the appointment, still charge me 200 or 2 hours worth of money. Like, do you know what I mean? They're like, no, I don't want to waste your time and energy. We have a set appointment. Thank you. Thank you. What a gift. So, with all that being said, we don't always have the funds to be able to give to other people to do. So here's ways and methods for us to start to do for ourselves. The difficulty in this method is learning the patience to hear yourself and the stories that are being spoken to you. So I'm doing this, and it's shooting out my ears, it's in my clavicles and my ribs. There's this connective tissue and wrapping. Oh my gosh. I can feel it in my inner thigh. Yep. So shaking is one of the most ancient medicines in the world. It's what heals the body. It's like unfucking believable. Oh my God, and it hurts. When you're doing it right. And because I love me. So right now I'm feeling it all down my vertebra, my neck and my back. Something just unlocked. Oh, it's making me a little dizzy. But I'm just riding that wave and being unafraid of it. I say this because you'll have the same experiences, and a lot of times what happens when People feel dizzy doing the work. They get afraid rather than allow themselves to be like, oh, it's just like I'm on a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like childlike experience is really what you need to do. I think that's what happens oftentimes with people during their process of healing, is that they get so afraid of what they're feeling that they need someone to assist them to witness the experience. You know what I mean? Like they need someone to hold that, or to tell them that it's safe to have that feeling. And it's safe to have that feeling. It's your body, it's your energy. You should be allowed to feel it. You know, we live in a world that doesn't want you to feel it, and it makes me really upset. And so I'm just pounding this side of my hand here into my back. My lower back is trying to unwind. Oh, I was doing work prior to filming, and unlock some big stuff in my lower back. I'm just feeling shit coming out of me, and I don't want to carry it anymore. And so I have all these different tools around me, right? So this is a great wheel. This helps with unlocking the body. So doesn't this ball right here, which by the way, I can't even believe I'm gonna say it, but like this ball right here is one of the best in the industry that I have discovered. I do not compromise on this ball at all. And I am finding that it might be off the market. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I refer this ball to everyone. So if you're in the industry, please help me, let me know, because Yumanu is like, or I'm probably saying that wrong, Yumuna is phenomenal. And yeah, I'm not finding people getting, this last couple of weeks, they can't get access to that ball. And I have referred it for like 15 years now or something of that nature, like 10, 15 years I've been referring people to this ball. As well as the Ma roller. So this is an unbelievable tool. It is not for the weak. It is not for the fucking weak. The first time I used it, I was on it for less than 30 seconds. I screamed, I cried. I didn't go back to it for a couple of weeks. And then I learned that I had to surrender to it. And so this is unbelievable. You roll your spine on it. I can roll my whole body on this now. I can roll my arms, my hips, my everything. I can put full body weight pressure on it in all different places. But that's not necessarily what I'm really trying to correct this eye. That head contusion did good on me. Okay, just checking. Okay, so this has been a remarkable tool. And so I'm gonna go and use this shortly. So I'm gonna probably stop my video so I can get dirty on the ground with this guy, and I can roll around, and I'm gonna probably have a good cry, and I'm gonna make a lot of fucking faces. So you can do your back, you can poke and tap your back here with your hands, and that's good, and it's actually really good for mobility. As we get older, people don't know how to do these kinds of things, right? People don't know how to sense their own back body, let alone touch. I know a lot of women that can't even put their bras on anymore and have to clip them from the front because they can't come into their back. And I can get my hands all the way up my back. I can touch the back of my neck with my level of mobility and rotation, but I've worked hard to keep that. And so we want to keep that. And so I'm pounding my back right now, which is lovely. It feels really nice. But I'd like to get in deeper to some of this neck stuff. And I'm gonna roll out on this guy right here. And have a good time with him. And so I can feel a good cry coming on. And I think I need to stop filming so I can get into it and have a good cry. And go from there. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Thanks for sharing my morning. Mwah. Have a good day. Peace out, tribe.